Hi everybody, hope everyone is doing well. Let's do a fall leaf inspired makeup tutorial inspired off of my necklace. And it's the time of year where I want to incorporate more fall colors. So I've already put some foundation on, and the first thing we're going to do, I like to start with a lighter shade at the top so it's easier to blend as we go. It doesn't matter what brand you have, I'm just going to say, I'm using these Profusion palettes. You can get them in the United States. So let's see, we have also the Revolution brand. I'm using that too. And a hint of the Wet n Wild. I'll use that too. So I'm going to start off and using a light color. So here I'm going to start off with this really nice light color. So we're going to take that and we're going to get the brow bone area. And again, I'm really into, I am working today. And I kind of want, I've just got the fall vibes going on. I'm just really getting into it, starting to deck out the house. And I will say, I have another video where I talk about how the pandemic has really broken an entire generation of children and young people, and adults too. I mean, we've all been thrown for a loop. So, I'm going to say to you while you're watching this, oh, by the way, I'm going to put it down here too, inner corner. Now, this is not a shiny color, it's a matte color. So we're going to put that there. Adjust my little headband here. Wouldn't it be nice if bows, I love bows. Right now I have the Beats ones on as a headband. Wouldn't it be nice if they made a really pretty headband with speakers in them? I would wear that all the time. I'm going to have to message them and say, I've got a fantastic idea for you. Make some headphone speakers. I think that would be great because I'm sure they could come up with some amazing colors because, as you know, this is bulky, but it works great for a headband. So now, dust this off a little bit because I grabbed the wrong color. Okay, now I'm going to go for kind of a yellowy shade. You know, when the leaves fall and there's that really bright yellow in some of the leaves. So I'm going to go with, see this kind of yellowy shade? Let's go with that one next. I'm going to put that right there. So again, I'm almost going to the brow itself, but not, because again, it's another one that's just the gradient of color, really light and now a yellow. And just be really strategic where you put it, because if you just swish it everywhere, you're just going to look jaundiced. So don't do that. I'm just putting it right under the brow bone. Again, another color is going to go over this. Again, I'm layering it one layer down at a time. I start from the very top and work my way down. But anyway, I was going to say about how we can make the world a better place. It doesn't need to cost money. I mean, you can do good today. Maybe forgive someone for past transgressions. Call up an old friend or a family member, or text them or email them, and just if there was a fight or something, don't start blaming it again and all that, even if it wasn't your fault. You could just say, I regret how the situation ended, and you know, I forgive what happened. Don't say I forgive you, because that's almost like blaming. I forgive the situation. I am moving on with grace, and I have nothing but love. I mean, however you want to phrase it, but I say, gosh, forgiving people really lifts your heart, lifts your soul, and you do feel lighter. So forgiveness is really important, and we can't escape forgiveness. When we pass over, your soul still has homework to do. You still have to forgive, and your soul is probably not going to move up and on until you've let go and have forgiven. So why not do that while we're here in the physical plane? Just forgive. But anyway, texting an old friend, even if there wasn't a transgression, call your mother, call your daughter, call your son, call a family member, just say, hey, just want to know how you're doing. I'm just thinking about you. That really lifts someone's day. I know with my older son, I just didn't want to bother him while he's off in his adult world, but he loves getting a text now and then. And I didn't even think he would care, so I'm going to start texting him more just to say, hey, how's your day? I love you, you know? Okay, now we're going to pick an orange color. So here's an orange right there. I'm going to do that orange pumpkin-y color. I love it. This one's called Dynasty, which is weird. I think they should just call it like jack-o'-lantern or happy pumpkin, something like that. Now this one, I'm kind of going more in the crease there, so the yellow is still poking through right there, right? So I'm just kind of gently kind of pressing and swirling just to blend, not too hard because I don't want my eyelid skin to go everywhere. Again, I'm gonna place it like this, like kind of doing a gentle press or pounce, and then we're gonna swirl, a gentle swirl. And again, I'm no makeup expert, but this is just how I do it, and I think it's kind of fun to see how other people do theirs. Okay, so there's the orange. Don't worry, this will tone down in a second. Okay, now I'm going to take a darker burgundy color, the burgundy color of those fall leaves. And I think, I know on camera that looks really red, but in real life, this has a very deep brick color. I'm going to do a combination of those two. So this and this, just a combination. Now the brick color, I'm just going to kind of create like a C shape right there. Don't worry if you're messy, just get messy on the sides. I'll show you how I'm going to fix it at the end. Creating a little C shape right there. Oop. Got a little dark shade, hold on, let me redo that. Anyway, so that's some way to spread some kindness and good in the world, because the world is a little crazy and it's ramping up a little bit. And you can control your own close environment by reaching out to others. And that doesn't cost anything, just to take some time and text or email or call someone. And it really does make a difference. I'm going to do that later today. Okay, now take a dark color. I'm going to go with this really dark one down here. And now stay really close to the lash line. Go right over that burgundy color. Really close to the lash line. Like that. And then do it on the other side. Don't worry, this will blend. A dark color really close to the lash line. See, I'm not being perfect. I'm kind of being a little messy. Really close. Okay, now what I do, because this is a little like, ooh, that's a lot of color. I'll go back to the brush I used for that pumpkin color. And now I'm just going to gently kind of blend around what I just did. I'm not swishing a lot because I don't want to create a muddy mess. But just go to the edges of what you put down and just gently just kind of pounce with the slightest bit of movement. So here again, just gently going to the edges. Because it has the orange color already in the brush, it kind of blends it together. And there we go. And then the next thing I do, okay, so that helped blend it a little bit. Let's get a little bit more on the top. Well, I'll come back. I'll come back with my lighter color brush that I used, and then I just gently kind of, gently, just kind of here where I have any harsh lines, just to, okay, starting to look like a fall leaf. And then, okay, then this is another thing that's really great for blending. What color am I going to use today? I think I'll go with this. So now we want to use a shiny, almost glittery shade, but not too glittery. I'm going to go with this one. It looks like a gold orange sheen. So I'm going to use my pinky and dip in there. And now put it right in the center where the dark meets the light to blend it. And then I just pop it right in the center and I give it just a gentle blend there again, so there's no harsh lines. And it gives you your eye a little pop. See how the difference is? A little bit of pop there versus there. Again, right between the light and the dark. I'm just gonna pounce it there and help blend. Okay, so there, and then I'll take a really light color, depending on, I don't know, what I'm in the mood for. I'll either go with the matte or the shiny. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of shiny, and then I'll go right on the inside corner. I'll be a little messy because I'm okay if it goes on the bottom. And that again just gives another extra pop too. So here we are so far. Okay, now to bring out some definition, because remember, we lose definition as we get older. So I'm going to use a black eyeliner. And again, I'm going to go very close to the lash line. Very close. Almost stamping it. And I go close to the lash line because If you don't, it tends to bleed up into the wrinkles, and I don't like to go to the inner corner because it bleeds up into the wrinkles there where I have crepiness. So I stick to where kind of the color of my eye starts and move over. Again, super close to the lash line. And if I mess up, I'll fix it. I can't really do winged anymore. It ends up just, I don't know, it's just too much work and it doesn't look right. And then I look like I'm way overdone. Okay, how's that? That looks okay. Okay, next, now because I don't have the rest, I have some foundation on, but I don't have bronzer and all that. I know this is looking a little dark, but once you get your bronzer on and everything else, it does look better. Then what I like to do, I'm going to take, again, I want to mimic this fall look. So I'm going to go with this brick color there, and I'll find my little thin brush, and I'm going to just go right at the lash line at the bottom. And I'm just stamping it with eyeshadow. Now again, that's eyeshadow. But because I put my foundation on, I did put my moisturizers and serums, and put your foundation all the way to the edge. This does give it something to cling to. And don't worry if you get fallout, because we're going to clean that up. So I'll just go, just stamp it. And then I'll kind of go back and do like a quick stamp, just so it looks blended and there's no choppy piece areas. Okay, like that. Let's do the other side. Just stamp it. Okay. Oops. That's okay. If we have a mistake, I can fix it, and I can fix it really quick. Now, then I take just a very finite amount. Now we're going to get in that inner corner. And because it's an eyeshadow powder, it doesn't bleed as much like the eyeliners do. Now, because this is just a work look, I'm doing powders. If I was going to go out, I would probably use one of those waterproof liners. Again, just a gentle stamp in the corner to give me some definition down there. Okay, next, I'm gonna pop on some mascara real quick. I'm trying to do this quickly because I have people coming pretty soon. And there's one side. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed and liked yet, do you mind just doing that right now? Because that way my future videos will pop up, and I would love to hear your comments. And I have been doing, last Friday night I did a live trivia game, and it was really fun. But to join the game and comment, you do have to be a subscriber. So why not do that now? That would be awesome. Okay, so let's get the bottom row. Just gonna get that going, and then we'll clean this up. Okay. That's how I do mascara. I just close my eyes over it. How do you guys do it? We're getting there. Fall leaf. It's matching the necklace. How's that? We'll do eyebrows in a second. So now how I clean this up, I'm just going to use, this is a, let's see, what is this called? The Perfector 4-in-1 Glow. This is a Maybelline product. So it's a primer, concealer, and highlighter in one. Yeah, look at the coverage on this. Now this is how I clean up the area. So I'll put like a swatch under here and a swatch under here. Do you see that coverage? Then I'll take a makeup brush and pounce it a little bit to work it in, and then I swoosh it up. And look at it, just literally creates like a nice, I mean, I guess almost like a winged line, but a very crisp line there, and it collects all the powder here. And it's not like this becomes all muddy, it just works into the foundation, and then I clean my brush. So I get really up in there, right under the line I just made, and then swirl up. And then sometimes I'll just go like this to blend it in because it'll end up looking like bronzer because it's brown eyeshadow, so whatever. This side, work it in a little bit and then do a sweep and up. Sweep right under where I went, where it's a little messy, and up. Do we need to clean that up a little bit more? Maybe. Sweep and up, and then blend in, blend in, blend in, blend in, blend in. Now, if I clean it too much, I'll just go back and restamp my eyeshadow. Sometimes I'll just do this a couple times to make sure it's super clean. There, see how it's coming together? I might have to correct this. I think I cleaned up a little bit too much there. Yeah, okay. Okay, and then let's do our eyebrows. Again, I like to use eyeshadow on the eyebrows. Why? Because the different seasons, you do your makeup differently in the summer than you do in the fall. So I'm gonna lay down a light brown shadow first just to give me a guideline, and then I'll go in with dark. Don't do dark first or you end up looking like Frankenstein. Okay, and I know it's Halloween coming up, but we don't want to look like Frankenstein. I'm going to start with a matte brown color. I'm going to point to it. Look how light that color is. So I'm going to start with that to create my guideline. Again, using an artist brush. Creating my guide, just so I know where I'm going to put the shadow. And I like doing this. I mean, I have the nice Anastasia brow kits and all that stuff, and which is fine, but sometimes eyeshadow is quick, and for a daytime look, it's not too dark and overdone. I think for a nighttime look, using those more expensive eyebrow kits, you could do that too. I mean, honestly though, I'm usually trying to get things done quickly, and eyeshadow is pretty goof proof because if you mess up, you just wipe it right off, right? Again, I'm extending my eyebrow a little bit because I think it just brings everything together. And again, still creating my guideline. Here's another tip too. You don't want your eyebrows too high. I know everyone thinks, oh, it gives you a lifted look. Well, yeah, it gives you a face lifted look, and that is not a young, youthful, natural look. My advice is, yes, you can create a sharp border at the top of your eyebrow hairs, but don't go too high. When you come beneath, go a little bit lower. I know that sounds crazy, but it does make it appear more youthful because, again, young eyes, the distance between the eyebrow and the bottom of the lid is shorter. As we get older, or facelifts bring that look higher, and so you're used to seeing older women with facelifts have very high, unusual eyebrows, and to me, it just ages them. So if you've had an eye lift or a forehead lift, well, awesome, but you can kind of create a youthful look. Bring that line a little bit down more. And then it is more youthful. Again, look at pictures of young people and their eyebrows, how close their eyebrows are to their eyelash line. And then you'll know what I'm talking about. So, okay, and now I'm just gonna feather this light color in. Okay, now we're gonna go with the dark color. So I'm just gonna grab a dark matte color like this one. Is that almost a little too great? Here, I'll go to the one next to it, a little bit more brown color. Now put your dark more in the center over here, because usually we don't start super dark and go all the way across. And again, we want to mimic natural. So I'm taking my dark and I'm working it more in the middle, not going to the end where I created that tail, which I'm going to clean up. Again, focus on the center and more at the bottom versus the top. And then I'll come at the end once most of the powder is off, and I'll just brush my eyebrows up. So, and again, I'm going to define the bottom there. And then I'm going to come on the side, darken it up there in the middle. Middle to the arch is where we're going to darken it. And then just kind of work it in, and then feather this with the same powder. Okay, it's kind of blended. Okay, and then to clean up the tail of that eyebrow, because I went a little crazy on this side, I'll still take that same brush and just kind of do this action. So this meets the tail, because I like how kind of this comes together right there. I think that's a nice, neat look. Again, this way, and then go down this way to clean all that up. And then in the center, in case I got any powder there. Okay, well, I think that's about it for the fall eye look for today. Just going to work. And so I thank you for being here, and I'll see you on the next one.